And good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner. And this morning it's Tuesday the 7th of March. As you all know, we're all in Toronto, so this isn't live, it's pre-recorded. But I am delighted. I just bumped into an old friend of mine and he said, yeah, let's do a podcast for Tuesday. And it's Gordon Stein, the CFO of Cleantech Lithium. Gordon, hi. How are you enjoying Toronto and PDAC?
It's very interesting. Yeah, bit of snow, but it makes a change. And I can't believe the number of people here. It's quite astonishing. This is Sunday. And I didn't even know it was going to start on Sunday. I thought it was going to start tomorrow, but being a full-on day. Great.
It's a pretty big event, isn't it? And if you're in mining, you've sort of got to come here, haven't you?
Yeah, I think today it was a slowish start, but there's a lot of people here now and a lot of delegations from governments. Brazil are here, there's India's here. And I've just been at an event for a Chile event, which is really interesting. Some pretty important people.
We'll come back onto that. I mean, you've actually been one of the top performing stocks, I think, on AIM probably this year, certainly in the last 3 months. But just quickly, I mean, you're Cleantech Lithium, so lithium's a bit of a clue. But just want to quickly describe the project in like 1 minute.
Well, we're fortunate. We've got 3 assets in Chile. They're high up, or 2 of them are high up in the Andes. We have 100% of the entire basins, which I think probably the only company in the world that's got 100% of 2 entire basins. We're moving forward through the project's nicest, doing all the fundamentals. We've got 2 drilling campaigns on the go at the moment to try and get the resource up. We'll hopefully announce those in Q2. They're going very well. And then there's a 3rd campaign on a completely greenfield site, which could be much bigger than those, but we'll know that. We're drilling in 2 or 3 weeks' time, and then we'll see where that one goes.
And you say you've just been out and met the Chile delegation, whatever, out here at PDAC, but you've also been out on site, Santiago, flew into, I think. How was that? How do you find Chile?
It's fabulous. I mean, it's one of those countries that I hadn't really taken much notice of before, but I mean, fundamentally a mining country. It's the fundamental. That's where most of the money comes from, and it's based its position on the regulatory processes in Canada and Australia, which is as good as you can get, and they do everything right. Actually, you'll hear some announcements in the near future, which is going to be really positive, certainly from our perspective, on where they're going, and just a great place to do business.
No, that sounds good. Now, look, I've got to give it a little bit of a mea culpa as well, because I know I did a podcast, 5 Minute Morning Miner, the other day, and I said you were dual listing on Australia, jumping on the bandwagon a little bit of these dual listings to Australia. Actually, I think I'm wrong, because the reason you're dual listing in Australia is you actually have a lot of Australian shareholders already, don't you? And they want you to have an ASX listing. That's the correct answer, isn't it?
Yeah, but over 30% of our shareholders at the moment are Australian, and including some one of the largest funds in Australia, and we've been encouraged for quite a number of months now, and we've had 2 or 3 trips to Australia, and the message is loud and clear from quite a number of funds who'd like to invest in the company that they'd like to do so, but aren't allowed because of the LPs that they can't list on companies not on ASX. So board considered it, took a view, sought views of our shareholders, and felt it was the right thing to do. We think we'll get a potential re-rating when we're on there. We've got an investor base in Australia that understands mining. And we think it's going to be really good. That aligned with AIM. We're on OTC now. So we're spreading our footprint, getting the message out.
And you've actually just come from New York, I think, talking to American investors with your OTC quote and getting rid of interest, haven't you?
Yeah, now we're on OTC. It's really just putting the message out. We've met people who had never heard the Cleantech story before, jumping in and out of cabs, going across town. It was quite interesting, and we'll be coming back again, but I mean, we within the next couple of weeks we'll be on DTC, which is the CREST equivalent in the US, and that'll allow US investors to trade in us in US dollars. So opening up another market there again to people who just want to hear a good investment story.
And, as you sit here with your booth at PDAC, for those that never been, I mean, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of booths, and there are a lot of lithium companies here. How do you, as people come up to your booth, explain why actually you're better than all the others? What's the key message?
We've had some really interesting conversations today with some of the others in the lithium space. I think there's 2 sides to it. There's an investment side, and obviously we want to present ourselves in a way that investors want to come and invest in us. But from a business side, we all want the lithium companies to succeed, because we're all playing in the same space. The supply and demand curve is out of kilter. We need to see success in the lithium business for new companies coming on, because that's going to help us. So we're fortunate, and we've got 3 entire basins. We're moving forward nicely on our projects. We have a supportive government, and we believe we can be one of the cleanest lithium companies in the world because of the nature we do our business. You know, we re-inject the spent brine in the reservoir using 100% renewable power. We think it ticks all the boxes.
I mean, that's, you know, obviously you're a brine, and that's one of the advantages of brines. They're actually environmentally friendly, really. Well, actually, that's not totally true, because you've got the middle part of the process sometimes has a bit of an environmental effect. But you basically do replace it all back how you started, don't you?
We do, because we re-inject the spent brine in the reservoir, and then there are processes you have to go through, but we can do it in a particularly clean way. The downstream part of the process, the beyond the DLE part, is well-trodden path.
Well, that's I'll just pick up on that point, because you are doing DLE, and there's still, you know, some people don't fully understand DLE, do they?
No, I think the funny thing about it, DLE's been around for a long time. It's a technology that's been applied around the world for decades in other industries, and now being applied in an industry where you didn't need to apply it before. I mean, when you had the lithium grades of 1,000 plus in the solid Atacama, you didn't need to have, you had evaporation ponds, you didn't need to have DLE. Basically off the beaten track are hundreds of salars potentially with lithium in, but at lower grade. And in the old days, you couldn't extract that you couldn't do that with evaporation ponds. DLE allows you to do that, and it means that now with grades of anything beyond 100 or even lower than that. I talked to a company today that had grades of lower than that. They're looking at doing DLE. You can unlock this. It takes a day to 2 days to do what would normally take the sun 18 months, and then you're not evaporating water. And water is a scarce resource. DLE will be mainstream within the next 2 or 3 years. Here you had a call, because you look at what's gone on in the oil industry and other industries when the processes change for whatever reason. Things move fast, and there are a number of companies out there all doing things, and it's all about how you use the resin, how you adapt it to your brine, to your grades. So 2 to 3 years mainstream, and it'll be just another process to produce lithium, but in a cleaner way.
Yeah. Okay, so sort of a final bit to wrap up. This is a 5-minute morning miner, and we present about 10 minutes. For a UK investor, I mean, what's your key message today? The stock's been a great performer. It has come off the top a little bit. What's the message to the UK investor of why he should get in now?
One thing we're very good at, particularly with our chairman, who's been the CEO of the 2 biggest copper mines in the world and taken from nothing to production. It's about doing things in the right way, and we're doing things in the right way with all the relevant processes going on. In the meantime, we've got a lot of news flow coming over the next 6 months with the results of 3 drilling campaigns. That's 3 drilling campaigns. That'll be hopefully resource upgrades on 2 of them, and hopefully a discovery on the 3rd. You've then got the scoping study for Francisco Basin, which is going to be another investment catalyst, hopefully with similar numbers to what we saw at Laguna Verde, 1.8 billion NPV8, a relatively low lithium price. And then you have a number of series of other news flows coming. There'll be an announcement from the Chilean government. And then we move into the pilot plant. Our pilot plant's on order. We'll have that up and running. We should have in the beginning of quarter 3 produce 1 ton of battery grade lithium. We'll be sending that around the world to potential buyers, and then I suspect we'll get a lot of knocks on the door. People want to either buy or to work with us.
Well, it sounds pretty exciting. I'm sure we'll be hearing more. Gordon, thanks for taking 10 minutes or so out of PDAC to have a chat with us. If anybody's interested to hear more about this company, either get in touch with us or get in direct touch with the company. But thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, bye.